All right, guys, soccer mail day here. Really excited. We have a cool mix of some big time cards I got from the PWCC auction. I actually got some raw cards, which I haven't been doing too often lately, but you know, if you've seen my other videos, I'm actually a big believer in SGC grading now, especially for maybe even some of these prospects, because you can get them back so quickly and just go on and sell them. So there's some names on here that maybe will be new to even you soccer fans out there. And then obviously we have some Messi, we have some Neuer, we have some big, so it's a nice mix, it's fun. Alt there as well. If you guys haven't used Alt, really cool promo code. They're giving $50 to anyone who signs up, and then $50 to me as well when you link your bank account. So if you haven't signed up with them, definitely check that out. But yeah, let's just get into it. I'll show you guys. Should be a fun one. Hope you enjoy. We'll start off with the raw cards. This stuff I'm going to be submitting to SGC. Conrad De La Fuente, young American attacker, came through the Barcelona academy system. Actually just moved to Marseille, so he's going to get an opportunity finally to shine. He was kind of on the fringes, never got a true shot with Barcelona, but he's a talented player, a little bit of a late bloomer. He's really kind of burst onto the scene more than people expected, and I got his gold. $20, gonna get it graded with SGC. Boom, I'm done. I'm into it for 45 bucks. Kind of keeping with my general strategy. Have what I think will be a pretty desirable card at some point, and we'll see what happens. Next one, Ricky Puig. I can't pretend this is any type of investment. I'm just a Barcelona fan, if you can't tell. I think Ricky Puig is really talented. I love the look of Obsidian as well, that they're numbered. I'll probably just get this one graded just to have it, but it was kind of thrown in with that De La Fuente, and I figured, hey, why not go for it? I'd wanted a nice Ricky Puig card for a while, and they're really cheap too. Next up, Kamavinga. Now this one is, I'm not gonna pretend it's a safe investment, but it definitely is one. There's been a lot of news of him moving to Manchester United or a bigger club. It seems like his club in France actually isn't asking for too much for him. So a really talented player. I think young attackers are a dime a dozen. Young, impactful midfielders who can play some defense and create are a little bit harder to find. So same thing with the De La Fuente for an even better player. $20, $25 with SGC. Boom, I'm only into it 45, and I thought this one looked pretty clean. It's like weird with the tops chrome, the number ones have a lot of damage, but the non-numbered ones actually come out of the pack pretty clean, if I've heard, and this one looks good to me, so I think I have a pretty good shot at a good grade on this one. Pedro, tops chrome, got this from the same person as I got the Kamavinga. Shout out to you, great guy. But $20. Pedro is someone who I think he's playing at the Olympics as well, so he could really shine. Out of all the young guys, especially attackers who I think could be the real deal, Pedro is the one, and I've heard that from people I really respect too, like Card Hour. So we won't let the hype train get too out of control, but I needed to have at least a little bit of Pedro. Even with the Kamavinga, it's the same thing. It's like, man, this is fun. Just roll the dice a little bit. It's great to cheer for these young guys. You could buy a LeBron and MJ and Messi, lock it in a vault, but you got to have fun. I think that's one of the best parts of the hobby as well, prospecting. So if it's a guy I believe in, I'll go for it, like with Pedro. Not too crazy, but I had to have at least one of his nice cards. Next up, Eunice Musa, young American player. Well, plays for the American team, was looking at England and Italy. I love this new optic set. I talked to death, the old optic set with the Foden and the Sancho and all that stuff, and I wasn't sure it was coming back. I hadn't heard anything. It's not its own product anymore, but it is in Chronicles. I believe this one is I think it's just the holo actually. It's the optic holo. $20 as well. I'll get this graded with SGC. He's still developing. I think he struggled for game time a little bit with Valencia, but I see a bright future for him, and I want to have a lot of these young American players, especially going into the next World Cup, just to cheer for them and on the off chance, because if an American player like him breaks out, the hype will be out of control. Right down the same alley. I don't know if I'm saying this right, so I apologize. I believe it's like Anthony. His name is spelled kind of weird. Robinson, fullback playing for Fulham. Rumors of him even moving to Manchester City. So that's a no guarantee, especially that he'll get game time, but he's an American. I think that hype is real. Obviously, people are recognizing that as well. Picking up his optic holo. I think this one was literally only $10, so I figured why not. It's cool that these are some of these guys' first releases, and I think at some point it could be really desirable. But at the very least, just as a collector, I want to have a lot of these young American guys, especially if I can get nice cards like this. Like this, I believe, is an optic holo. Boom, Manuel Neuer. These are all, the rest are real quick, just from a PWCC auction I did. I just chuck out bids usually when they have some stuff, especially stuff you don't see every day. Like this Neuer, BGS 9 rookie sticker. Tough grade on these, especially these older ones. He's a legend of the game. One of the best goalkeepers of all time. Not quite in top form anymore, but get this for, I believe it was 120 bucks. I just figured, why not? I want to have all these stars, especially from when I was a kid. A video a while ago, you saw them at the Xavis, the Iniestas, the Sergio Ramos. When I remember these stars from my childhood, Neuer was always the goalkeeper, so I wanted to add him to that collection. Timo Werner. Some people might even be laughing at this one. Why are you buying Timo Werner? The 2013 cards of his or this is a sticker, excuse me, are hard to find. I think I got this one for like 60 bucks. You rewind time a year ago, he was one of the top strikers in the world. I don't think that's too crazy to see it say. Obviously, he struggled in his first year in the Premier League, but I think he can become a vital part for Chelsea and for Germany. I have a lot of Troyisms. This might be my new one. Educated rolls of the dice is really what sports card investing is, and that's what this one is. I'm into it for 60 bucks. We'll see what happens. It's a low pop card, low pop sticker, excuse me. So if he does turn things around, people will want this one in particular just because it's, hard to find. And I totally forgot we have like a mini Sgc submission. I definitely talked about it before. I've sold a lot of these cards, unfortunately, already, so you won't get to see all of them. And I got really strong prices. Maybe I'll find a way to pop them up here on the screen. But some of them haven't sold yet, but the whole submission's already paid for. But one of those cards is this Luca Modric. Into it for $40. I actually got a $100 offer on this. I probably should have taken it, to be honest, but kind of a relatively hard to find sticker. It's out there, but it's not as plentiful as finding, Topps Chrome or something nowadays. Luca Modric going along with that Neuer and all these stuffs. I love these stars from my childhood. I feel like they're kind of underappreciated, underpriced right now. So there's not many of these already graded, so that's why I'm already seeing a ton of that interest on eBay. And I think I got more on the way too. Aubameyang, Topps Chrome Refractor, Sgc 10. This one was more just kind of an experiment, really. This card literally cost me 99 cents to buy, so grading a 99-cent card is maybe what kind of got us in this grading mess in the first place, but I just kind of wanted to see what a modern card would do with Sgc, and it got a 10. So to an Aubameyang collector, at some point, maybe they'll want a card like this, maybe not, but worst case, I'm just out my grading fee. Raul, Sgc 9.5. I was shocked when I saw that, honestly. I know it looked really clean, but Sgc grades, semi-vintage, really tough actually. So this is a tough move. Like, you kind of have to have that conversation. And even a PSA 9 would do over 1,000, I think, even at this point. So an Sgc 9.5, you would think it would be in that range, but it's just not going to command that price, and that's the tough part with Sgc right now. But just to have it slabbed up and protected, I'm into this $75. So I have no problem holding this, or if I do decide to hold it, I'll at least make some sort of profit. Once again, with those other sales I made, Sgc, even the cards, paid for, good to go. So if anything came out of that Sgc submission, just me holding this, maybe even long term, I'm happy with it. Iron Robin, this one it's an Sgc slab, but this was from PWCC auctions actually. This is my great theory, that the $10 slabs, 10 bucks PWCC auction, don't even have to pay for shipping because it's shipping with all the other stuff I get. Pick it up every day of the week. Buffon, Sgc 8, I believe right there, 2010 World Cup, a big fan of the set, it matches with the Robin. 10 bucks again, now I have a Neuer and a Buffon, the top goalkeepers when I was growing up. It'd be nice to have a true rookie of him, or even maybe a better grade in this, but for $10, like, I'll do this, I'm hoping to sell at card shows as well at some point. I think something like this is great to have, even just for kids. They probably wouldn't be Buffon fans now that I think of it, but regardless, I like it. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Sgc 10. This one was from the submission as well. Into it, $45. I have way too much Trent Alexander-Arnold right now. Unfortunately, it didn't work out because he did have a tough season, but I am not ready to give up on this guy at all. I think he will turn it around. I think he has a bright future. He has all the skills to do it. Really exciting going forward. Maybe you need to get out of him because, like I said, I have a lot, but really happy with this grade to get it from Sgc. De Bruyne Prism 2016 SGC 10. I thought this one would actually move really quickly. I'm surprised it's barely got any traction since I got it up on eBay, but to get it into 10, I was just in a situation where I was like, I have this raw. I hate selling cards raw. I just can't deal with people on eBay. It's literally the worst. I was like, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to wait? It's going to be a year till I submit this to PSA. Are people even going to want this card in a year? I figured, let's just, even though there could be a potential big profit margin there with like PSA 10s of these at some point, we're doing crazy numbers. I was like, let's just send it to SGC and figure it out. And luckily it got a 10. Messi, Topps Chrome Refractor 2017 BGS 9.5. This is the variation actually, so it's super, super low pop. Huge fan of this, especially I love the BGS slab. I just like it. It cost me around $800, which I thought was a very, very fair price for this one right there. If I believe in anything, I will take this 2017 Topps Chrome. I won't stop. You can't stop me, especially when it's Messi, the variation. Like, I just can't put into words. You know what? I'll actually do it. BGS 9.5. Feel it's undervalued. Variation for how low pop it is. I feel it's undervalued. Topps Chrome 2017, the significance of the set, I feel is undervalued. Messi, because of what he is, I feel he's undervalued. $800 for this when the non-variation PSA 10 used to be doing 2,000. I feel that's undervalued. So with this one right here, like everything came together, and that doesn't mean it's foolproof. This could go to 300. I don't say all that to say like, hey guys, I'm a genius. I figured it all out, but I believe strongly in buying this card for those reasons. Bruno Fernandez Topps Chrome. This is just a beauty right here. This was the steal. I even talked about it on Instagram, and it seemed like people agreed with me. $600. The base was almost doing this price at one point. Bruno Fernandez didn't have the Euros we all wanted, but I've been eyeing actually this card in particular for a long time. I think someone was asking like $1,200 for it on Instagram, and I even thought about it, but I was like, I can't do it. It's a little high, but to get this one for $600, it's weird. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. It's like, it's not PC because I'm not going to keep this forever, but just buying those cards that really bring you joy regardless, this is one of those cards. So I'm just happy to have it. David Villa, this one is in the cheap slab category right there. $30. That Barcelona kit to me is iconic. What he did. He was one of my favorite players growing up, surprisingly. Like I always just loved him when he was on Barcelona. So this one, the Bruno Fernandez is like a conflicted one. This one is strictly PC. Boom, Pedro Pink Topps Chrome. Sent this one to Alt because this was like $200. So the tax on this raw card would have been tough. So I sent it to Alt. This one, almost every single numbered card in Topps Chrome has that manufacturing mark on the edge. This one doesn't, luckily. I looked at the scan, it didn't look perfect besides that, but so maybe I overpaid. I don't like paying $200 for a raw card, but I want some nice Pedri. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing with this one, but I think it's a cool card. I'm happy I picked it up. Nigel Houston, SGC 10, Topps Chrome, talked about this in an early video. Excited to cheer him on at the Olympics. And this is another one that I have up on eBay and is getting a ton of interest already. So I'll be surprised if this one doesn't go pretty quickly, especially during the Olympics when he's actually competing. Thomas Mueller, Prism Silver 2014. I think we have a run of these coming up, and it's going to be the same thinking with pretty much every single one. So I'll keep it pretty short. Super low pop. Legends of the game. I think Prism 2014, as much as there was an overreaction and people kind of don't like it, it will be an iconic set. It means something to the soccer card community, at least to me. The PSA 9 bases of guys like this were doing $60 not too long ago. Every single one of these silver prisms cost me about $100. Not to even mention what the cost of grading is right now. I felt like I had limited downside, and this is a card that people actually will want down the road. So we have Thomas Mueller, and then I'll show you the other ones real quick because it's the same story. Boom, Sergio Ramos, Andres Iniesta, Benzema, David Silva. I don't know, I think it'd be harsh to say he doesn't have the same legacy as the rest of them because he definitely had a successful career, but I've always been a fan of him. This one was cheaper. I think this was only like $60. I'm fine to hold on to this too. But all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I think there was a cool variety in there. Hopefully you learned something from it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe as always, and we'll keep the videos coming.